Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Friday, November 22nd, and you know what that means. You don't know what that means, but we got one of them special shows. It's time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And today's show, with me, your host, Full Gear 2024 is going down tomorrow at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, and I will be there. Finally going to my first AEW pay-per-view with a couple buddies. We're going to look at the show, go over the card, pick our winners, make the predictions. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. You know how we do. Before we even get into this year's card, we got to take a look at last year's card. Last year, I went down in Inglewood, California at the Kia Forum, and we had 11 matches with 3 going down on the pre-show. So on the pre-show, Eddie Kingston defeated Jay Lethal, retaining the Ring of Honor World Championship. Claudio Castagnoli defeated Buddy Matthews by submission, and MJF and Samoa Joe defeated the Guns to retain the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. On the main card, Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland defeated the Patriarchy. Orange Cassidy defeated Jon Moxley to retain the International Championship. Timeless Toni Storm defeated Hikaru Shida to win the AEW Women's World Championship. We had a 4-way tag team ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships and Championship. And the team of Ricky Starks and Big Bill retained, defeating La Facción Ingobernable, FTR, and the Kings of the Black, which was Malachi Black and Brody King. Julia Hart defeated Kris Statlander and Sky Blue to become the new AEW TBS champion. Swerve Strickland defeated Hangman Adam Page by knockout in their classic Texas death match. The Golden Jets, team of Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, defeated the Young Bucks, and since the Golden Jets won the Young Bucks, they got the Young Bucks Tag Team Championship opportunity. Had the Young Bucks won, the Golden Jets would have to disband as a team. In the main event, in a not great match, MJF defeated Jay White to retain the AEW World Championship. But let's get into this year's show. So once again, it's going down to Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. This is actually the second Full Gear held at the Prudential Center, and we have one match on the pre-show, but knowing Tony Khan, he's probably going to add at least 2 more. We have Big Boom AJ taking on QT Marshall, and this is your classic celebrity match. It's been over a year since QT Marshall has wrestled in AEW, but the veteran has brought it off the bench. And this is just good, clean fun. That it's a good crossover with guys that are popular on TikTok that have a good show. And Big Boom has been an independent wrestler, so these two are going to put up a good show. These two are going to have fun. I dislike when celebrities win and defeat the wrestlers, but Big Boom is probably going to win this. The QT Marshall is one of those people who knows what to do in professional wrestling. He knows his role, he knows his job, he knows what he's capable of and what the business is truly all about, and taking a loss here won't hurt him one bit. So take Big Boom AJ to defeat QT Marshall. We're probably going to get 2 more matches on the pre-show. I'm expecting an Anna Jay match, and maybe a match with Brian Cage and Lance Archer in a tag match. But if Anna Jay's on the pre-show, yeah, I mean, I gotta go check that out. But our first match on the card, I don't know the match order. We have MJF versus Roderick Strong, and this is essentially a continuation of the Devil storyline, MJF, Adam Cole, and we were all surprised that Adam Cole's not in this match. So it was to be Roderick Strong and Adam Cole. The first 2 win 3 matches would end up facing MJF, and if they both won 3 matches, then it would be a triple threat match. But shockingly, Roderick Strong won his 3rd match, and Adam Cole lost his 3rd match, was against Konosuke Takeshita, as MJF had paid off the Don Callis family. But I see what we're doing here. We're slow playing the eventual showdown between Adam Cole and MJF. And the Undisputed Kingdom had played a big role in the Purrazzo saga last year, so it makes sense to give Roderick Strong the first bout against MJF. But we know how this is going to go down. Question is, will there be shenanigans? Will there be much and many shenanigans? Probably. MJF doesn't really have friends, but he will obviously always pay people off, and he's already paid off the Don Callis family. Roderick Strong has the Undisputed Kingdom backing him, so they will even each other out. This would be a good match, a good solid match, but take MJF to win here. This is probably the one match on the card where it's quite obvious who is going to win. Next up, we have Hangman Adam Page versus the Switchblade Jay White, and this is good. Hangman Page is coming off his win against Swerve, Strickland, and Jay White has came back with all this momentum. He was riding, Jay White himself was riding a wave of momentum into his match. Hangman was riding a wave of momentum in his match versus Jay White at Wrestle Dream, and everyone thought Page was going to win, but he took the L, and now that makes me question about who is going to win. This is going to be a trilogy of matches, obviously, and nothing is better than an angry, a heated Hangman Adam Page. He has been kind of just going against the Guns, Juice, Jay, the Bang Bang Gang, Guns Up, and they're tired of it. But this is one of those matches I can go back and forth. This is tough because you can't really spoil the momentum of either guy, but I like Jay White to win here. It just seems a little appropriate. It seems right that he would get the W here. So take Jay White to defeat Hangman Adam Page. Next up, we have a fatal 4-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, as Private Party will be defending against the Outrunners, Kings of the Black Throne, and the Acclaimed. And listen up, listen here, listen very, very closely. Private Party is going to win. They're not going to lose their first tag team title defense. They have been priding themselves on being fighting champions, and now their first title defense is a fatal 4-way. Yeah, that's what you call fighting champions. The fan favorites here are the Outrunners and the Kings of the Black Throne, but the real story going into this match is the Acclaimed, right? Max Caster still has he still has MVP's card. Will that play a role? Because we are looking at a split possibly coming for the Acclaim, or they come back together. It's like how we're looking for a split possibly with the New Day. You got to capitalize on Private Party defeating the Young Bucks. Question is, who's going to take the loss here? Who's going to take that L? I don't believe in the whole thing that if you're in a multi-man match you don't get pinned, you didn't lose. No, on the record books you're taking an L. But right here, we're going to go with Private Party winning, and they'll end up pinning the Outrunners. We got through this match through a fade, like a little mini tournament real quick. And at those brackets, the Outrunners defeated Top Flight, FTR defeated Kings of the Black Throne, and the Acclaim defeated LFI. So that's where we're going here. But take Private Party to win here. Next up, we have Mercedes Mone, the CEO, taking on Kris Statlander, who's more than a woman, as Mercedes Mone will be defending her TBS championship against against Kris Statlander. And Kris is essentially looking to right the wrong of last year's Full Gear. Remember, she lost the TBS championship last year at Full Gear in that triple threat match with Sky Blue and Julia Hart, and she's got a huge mountain to climb. She's kind of taken out, held back Camille with that broken arm, and she has some momentum. But Mercedes Mone is undefeated since coming to AEW. And this is actually a match that is really, really, really hard to predict. I do think at some point Kris will take the championship. at some point, because we're going to move Mercedes up into the Women's World Championship. The question is, does it happen here? Because there's so much going down. Like, Camille's definitely going to be involved. Maybe someone else joins up with the CEO. Maybe, just maybe, Willow Nightingale returns to cause Kris Statlander match. But now they're both faces, and Kris is a born again Christian. So we really don't know. This is a hard match to predict, but I'm going to go with the CEO winning and retaining here. But it's not a matter of if, but when she loses the TBS Championship. Next, we have a match that I think is just very obvious who's going to win here. If you thought MJF was obviously going to beat Roderick Strong, then Bobby Lashley is definitely going to beat Swerve Strickland. This is Bobby Lashley's second match, his first pay-per-view match in AEW. And he's going to go over the former world champion just to give him a push, give him that rise, give him that heat, defeating Swerve. Swerve is kind of Teflon at this point, but this is a good start to building up the Hurt Syndicate story. Swerve already went through Shelton Benjamin, and he got his revenge this past week on Dynamite. So how do you book this match? Does Swerve win? Does Lashley win? Now Swerve has this thing where he pulls out, surprise victories, and it's not because it's just a surprise, but it's because he's good. And a win over Bobby Lashley will help establish Swerve, but a win with Lashley over Swerve will help establish Lashley where Swerve is already at the top. So I'm going to take Bobby Lashley to win here, with a small caveat that if Swerve does win, he's going to catch a beat down by the Hurt Syndicate after the match. So take Bobby Lashley to win. Then we have Jack Perry versus Dan Garcia. Jack Perry will be defending his TNT Championship. And this is a match that I'm kind of excited for. Dan Garcia has re-signed with AEW, and he's a fan favorite. Jack Perry has been a good champion, not a great champion. It's been an okay few years, but he hasn't really had anybody to really challenge him. We like stories that go along with our championship matches, but Dan Garcia has been the one to oppose Jack Perry. He's been the one to tell him that you're trash, you don't deserve the championship, this, that, and the third. I'm going to take that from you, and I think you have to invest in Dan Garcia. Jack Perry is cool because he's got the Elite with him, and we're going to start to see the fall of the Elite. The Young Bucks are gone. Jack Perry's going to fall, and at some point Okada's going to fall. So I'm going to take Dan Garcia to win here to become your new TNT champion. This is going to be good, everybody. It's going to be a really good match. I just like Dan Garcia, and we got to really start investing in him. We know Jack Perry is one of the pillars. Next up, we have Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in a battle of former Don Callis family members, former tag team partners. This is going to be good. I'm going to preface this. I hate that since Will Ospreay's come to AEW, he wins a lot of matches. And he's Will Ospreay. He should win a lot of matches, but not to the detriment of many, many others and their stories. So we have these two former friends and tag team partners going at Fletcher cost Ospreay the international championship at Wrestle Dream, and now it's got personal. They have said some words to each other. Ospreay saying that Fletcher is just more than a Will Ospreay clone, and that he's not on his level. And Ospreay saying, you turned your back on Japan, you turned your back on Okada, you turned your back on Ricochet, you turned your back on so many people, and now here you are trying to turn your back on me when I try to stand up for myself. But this is good. Kyle Fletcher has this guy. I saw if you've seen Kyle Fletcher wrestle, he's good. The question is, who has Kyle Fletcher's back? He's got Hobbs with him, right? He's got Mark Davis with him, Kyle Fletcher's former tag team partner. But Fletcher also has the family. So Takeshita is on this card defending, right? You have Cage, you have Archer. Will they get involved? Will the rest of the family show up? This match right here is very much a toss-up. It is a toss-up through and through and through. Does the family take a lot of losses? Because they have two people wrestling tonight. I'm going to say Will Ospreay wins. Here on the other side of the family, we've got Konosuke Takeshita defending against Ricochet and defending putting his championship on the line, the International Championship. And this has the makings of a barn burner, show stealer, 5-star classic. Absolutely. This is going to be good. So Ricochet was cost the International Championship by Takeshita. Takeshita's the champion, and he's coming for that belt. He's going to come for what was not necessarily taken from him, but was snatched from him. This feud has been going on for a couple weeks, and it makes sense to book the title match. Now, Ricochet hasn't been pinned or submitted since joining, but he has, taken a loss here, which is good, and he's going to trying to dethrone the top member of the Don Callis family. Can he do it? Will he do it? Takeshita, I don't think has defended the belt just yet. And you've built up Ricochet very, very solidly, but I don't think Takeshita is losing just yet. So I'm going to say take Takeshita to defeat Ricochet. And in the back of my mind, will the Hurt Syndicate be involved? Ricochet has a card. He has history with Swerve. With Lashley, with MVP, with Shelton Benjamin. Will they get involved? And lastly, our probable main event, the World Championship, as Jon Moxley will be defending against Orange Cassidy. These two fought at last year's Full Gear, with Orange Cassidy taking the International Championship, and it was one of the biggest wins of his career when he beat Jon Moxley to become the International Champion. And now they're fighting again, this time for the World Championship. This is all about the story that they're trying to tell with the Death Riders. Mox wants to build AEW back up. He wants to tear it down and build it back up. This is positive. This is what he wants. This is what they want, to be better, to get everyone to be better, to grow, to mature. But here's the thing. It's the way they're going about it. It's their methods. Are their methods correct? Some would say yes. Some would say no. And they've taken out many, many people. There's kind of some physical and mental abuse going on with Wheeler Yuta. They've taken out Bryan Danielson. They've taken out Chuck Taylor. They have beaten up people left and right. And Orange Cassidy is stepping up. He was challenged to step up. He was challenged to be that man, be that guy. And don't let no one fool you. Orange Cassidy can do it. He might do it, but will he do it? No. See, this is not about the championship when it comes to Jon Moxley. This is about something more. Everybody wants to be the champion, but nobody wants the responsibility. No one wants to take on the challenge and what it all requires. Everybody was happy that Bryan Danielson was the world champion, but his body couldn't take it, and he was taken down. He was taken out, and now here we are. I love Orange Cassidy, but Jon Moxley is winning this match. He doesn't even carry the belt with him to the ring. Marina Shafir holds it in a briefcase. That's what's going down tomorrow. And Jon Moxley is going to walk out the champion, and it's going to be time for someone else to step up to the plate. So let's go over the card one more time with the winners. I'm going to take Big Boom AJ to defeat QT Marshall on the pre-show. I have MJF defeating Roderick Strong, Jay White defeating Hangman Adam Page, Private Party to retain the World Tag Team Championships. I don't remember if I said Mercedes or Kris Statlander. Mercedes Mone to defeat Kris Statlander, Bobby Lashley to defeat Swerve Strickland, Dan Garcia to defeat Jack Perry, winning the TNT Championship, with Mercedes retaining the TBS Championship, Ospreay defeating Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita defeating Ricochet to retain the International Championship, and Jon Moxley defeat Orange Cassidy to retain the AEW World championship. But that is our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look on the screen what we got coming next, what's up on the menu, on the docket. Looking good, right? I know. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and the 215 on Twitter, and of course Charismatic Creations52 on Patreon. But that is our show. Thank you for listening. I'll see you when I see you. And of course, as always, Anna J, Kris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, Gigi Dolan, Isla Dawn, and Bailey. Holla at your boy. Peace.